Literary field has been a masculine world, but some women writers became prominent in the literary history of America. Today, I will try to make a brief introduction to American women writers in the field of poetry and fiction. America's best-known woman poet, Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson was born in a prominent lawyer's family. She was never married. For most of her life, she avoided visitors and led a reclusive life. She wrote around 2,000 poems, but only 10 poems were published during her lifetime. Her poems are short. The longest is 50 lines. The real world and the great issues remain invisible in the lines. Nature, with its marvelous creatures and phenomena, dwells in her world. The first volume of poems of Emily Dickinson was published after her death. Her most famous poems include Because I Couldn't Stop for Death and Narrow Fellow in the Grass. With a few plain and direct words, she constructs a wonderful world. That's where her charm lies. Writer for children's literature, Louisa May Alcott. American writer Louisa May Alcott grew up in a poverty-stricken but intellectual household. Like Emily Dickinson, she was never married. Regarding marriage as a trap in life, she is most famous for a series of children's books that are based on her own childhood experiences. Little Women is the best known of all. The novel described 4 sisters who were kind to each other and loved each other. The heroine was the first American juvenile heroine to act from her own individuality, a living person rather than idealized stereotype in children's fiction. American woman Southern writer Margaret Mitchell. Margaret Mitchell was born into a wealthy and prominent family. Her mother saw education as the weapon and the key to survival. She insisted that Margaret go to college. Gone with Wind was the only novel published by Mitchell during her lifetime. It is a love story which took place during the American Civil War. The main character is Scarlett, whose father owned a big plantation in the southern state of Georgia. Her first husband died in the war, and Scarlett took charge of the whole family. When the war ended, life was really hard for her family. Unfortunately, her second husband was shot to death, and she became a widow again. The third time, she married Red, a businessman. Because of some misunderstanding between them, Red was determined to leave Scarlett. Scarlett's life was filled with choices and challenges. She always chose to create hope and told herself, tomorrow is another day.
This moment you get your strength. Red Earth of Terra.
Why, man's the only thing that matters.
Something you love better than me.
Red Earth of Terra.
Terra.
Home. I'll go home. But I'll think of some way to get him back. After all, tomorrow is another day.
It's said this book has outsold every other book in the world. Nobel Prize winner Pearl Buck. As the daughter of American missionaries, Pearl Buck spent most of her first half of life in China. Pearl Buck spoke English and Chinese. She won the Nobel Prize with her novel, The Good Earth, in 1938. She became the first American woman to be awarded Nobel Prize for Literature, for her rich and truly epic descriptions of peasant life in China and for her biographical masterpieces. The novel portrays the family life in a Chinese village before the 1949 revolution. The Good Earth was a bestseller in both 1931 and 1932. It has been a steady favorite ever since. Feminist writers. The feminist movement during the 1960s and 1970s greatly affected American culture. The feminist movement is the women's liberation movement. Purpose is to get women equal rights, the equal status with men, the choice of career, and the way of life. From then on, women's gender awareness has been greatly enhanced, and women's social status has been greatly improved. Many women writers exerted their influence on the world literature. Toni Morrison was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1993, and she was the first African-American writer to win Nobel Prize. In her works, Morrison explores the experience of Black women in a racist culture. Her famous novels are The Bluest Eye and Beloved. Morrison writes about African American women, celebrating their strength, vitality, and revealing their struggles. Alice Walker. Alice Walker received the Pulitzer Prize for The Color Purple. She was a poet, novelist, and a major figure in the feminist movement. Her works concern sexual and racial realities within Black communities. She portrays the experiences of Black women, their courage and strength. Amy Tan is a Chinese-American writer. Amy Tan's parents immigrated to America, and she was born in California. Her books portray the lives of Chinese-American daughters and their Chinese immigrant mothers. Tan's first two novels, Joy Luck Club and The Kitchen God's Wife, focus on relationship between mother and daughter. In her works, Tan deals with characters' conflicting emotions, which are associated with being native-born Americans of Chinese ancestry. Women writers are dedicated to write for women and to fight for social equality. Their works offer people the chance to get a better understanding of women around the world. They deserve the honors and respect. The beautiful world should be shared by everyone without gender discrimination.